Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition, Unpopular Review, Raw Edition. Executive consultant here, joined today by my new regular host and tag team partner, started the daggone thing with me, Ultimate Fan, Patrick the Fool Nelson. What's going on with you tonight?
I'm okay.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm good. I'm
You're
good.
not looking.
I'm good. I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'm good.
You look
I'm
like you
fine.
tired decorating your wall.
No, I like my wall. You like my wall? I'm
Yeah, you
good.
got a picture of yourself there. Looks like you got a picture of Jinder Mahal there. Got a WrestleMania 35 picture.
Yep. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. I'm good.
All right, let's talk about it because we got a lot to talk about here on Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually put in the headline, spectacular week in the world of professional wrestling. What a time to be a professional wrestling fan. Patrick, what are
That's
your
true.
thoughts on the overall week of professional wrestling?
It was awesome. From All Out was good. SmackDown was great last week Friday. I enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for this Friday. I'm gonna be SmackDown live at the Garden. So it's like
Are you
the bucket
bragging?
for me. Of course, you know the vibes. I'm gonna be SmackDown live. SmackDown Live is gonna be better this week Friday. I'm ready for the contract signing this week Friday. I want to see what Brock Lesnar gonna do, and the Undertaker gonna be there. Like,
No, hold on. That hasn't been confirmed. We don't
I
report on
heard,
stuff like
I
that. That
heard
has
that it's gonna be confirmed.
you heard or you read?
I read, sorry, I read.
Okay, he always said that you heard. You heard like you got some kind of inside knowledge. You do, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Let's see. Elvis Martinez says, best part of Raw that is over. Ronald Jackson says, hey, family, what's going on, Ron? Damian Jones says, Chris Harris, Patrick, evening, gentlemen. What's going on? Damian Jones, Charmaine, rest in peace, Daphne. She'll be missed. That's true.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Daphne. Mitten says, sup, fellas. Jordan Lewis says, I have to say the Raw is pretty good tonight. Not going to lie. Ronald Jackson says, don't forget to like, love, and share, folks. Thank you. Where's the drinks, Chris? Not drinking tonight. I got my green tea ready to go here. Egypt Harlan says, last night AEW All Out was off the hook. We'll talk about that a little later. Derek Mitchell says, people heard say this is a great time to be a wrestling fan. Is it actually? And Mikey Atlantic says, happy Shea Day, even though she's not here. Derek, to answer your question, I do believe it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Why? Because you have options. So that's not something you were able to say not too long ago, but now you have options. You have Raw, SmackDown, AEW, NXT. A little bit of Impact, a little NWA. For some reason, GCW is coming out of nowhere. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, GCW is like ECW 2.0. GCW is gory. That's what John Moxley was it Saturday, I believe. He won the GCW World Heavyweight Championship. That's what Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was a bloody mess the first time when I saw.
What makes that title a world championship is my question.
The whole value to it. People fighting for their life for that title.
There are three world championships in my opinion. In this man's opinion, there are three world championships. There's the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship, and the AEW World Championship. And one of the reasons why I say it's a good time to be a wrestling fan is because I think now, more so than any time we have multiple world champions, you have three very credible, very strong world champions that are good at everything they do, from Bobby Lashley to Kenny Omega to Roman Reigns. Three very strong world champions. It's hard to say who's not the best of that.
Like Samoa Joe. That's Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe's not a world champion. I don't count NXT as a world championship.
Oh my lord!
It's not a world title. I'm sorry.
You guys start counting them.
It's not a world title.
So what do you count it as then?
I count it as a championship of NXT.
Makes sense.
Of course it makes sense. I said it. Let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of Raw. Raw was very in-ring heavy tonight. If you don't believe me, watch it again. Very in-ring heavy. Started off with RK Bro coming out, talking about the fact that they were going to be there and watch for the tag team turmoil. Out comes what's my notes? Who came out? I don't even know who came out. Who came out? Tell me who came out.
Was it Bobby Lashley and MVP?
He came out at the end, I think. I don't know. That's embarrassing. Some Hammernager tell me. Let me read this. We all had options, but it depends on what you value in entertainment. The fandom has gone down the last 15 years. That's true. Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, Kenny Omega, yet they're carrying their own as champions. I'm tired of the 24/7 champion that has to go. It reminded me when Rest in Peace Crash Holly was a hardcore champion. Bobby Lashley MVP. It was Bobby Lashley MVP. Thanks, George. Bobby Lashley MVP came out to erupt. Bobby Lashley doesn't forget what happened last week, and he got RKO'd, and he said that, hey, you know what? I want a shot at you tonight. Randy Orton says, if I'm going to accept, like he's champion, if I'm going to accept, you're putting that WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Bobby Lashley does accept from Hester MVP. Set up the match in Extreme Rules, but then Bobby Lashley MVP said, you know what though? We're going to wrestle tonight in that tag team turmoil because I do want to be a dual champion. I want the tag team championship. What did you think overall about that segment, Ultimate Fan?
That segment was good. I really think that Bobby Lashley MVP, especially MVP, they got some go to. Bobby Lashley got some go to waist, actual goal. It would make it look like two belt Bobby. 2 bucks Bobby. What? That sounds good. And plus, especially for MVP, I had some go to waist. Well, perfect. And then they can bring back the ladies. They can have the MVP lounge with the ladies.
Well, they're not going to do that because they're not going to get the same escorts, I'll say, that they got before. So when they were in St. Petersburg, they were getting escorts. That's why they were able to come to every show. But now they're on the road again. You notice they got rid of them the week before they started going on the road again. So you're not going to see the ladies in the MVP lounge anymore. So if you just want to see ladies, I suggest you go to Pornhub.
Man.
Yeah. You got to spend some money.
Those ladies were beautiful.
They were all right. Derek Mitchell says, then the New Day as the Outsiders came out. Hey, yo, this is what Derek Mitchell's talking about. The Outsiders are being honored, I will say. The Outsiders are being honored by the New Day. As you can see clearly that the New Day rocks. NDR was inspired by NWO Wolfpack. Were you a fan of this tribute, and is it going on your back wall?
I liked it that it's not on my back wall. I don't think.
I thought it was going there.
Maybe one day I'll put it on there. I'm missing something over there. In between that Naomi thing over there, I'm missing something over there. I'm going to put something. Anyway, but I liked it that their in-ring gear because it's in a way it's like they pay homage to their favorite wrestlers. So I thought that was a huge plus for the New Day.
I thought it was very good and show you the New Day are stars. They came out to start this tag team turmoil against none other than the Viking Raiders. Who's been, not holding their own too much on the main roster, but they still could put on a good match. This included New Day versus Viking Raiders. Of course, the New Day picked up the victory and go on to face the next tag team. But let's talk about it a little bit. New Day and the Viking Raiders. Are you a fan of both of these teams?
I want to see the Viking Raiders do more. I really do. Well, I think the Viking Raiders they're injury prone, but I think they deserve a shot at the gold too, just as much. That's not one of my. I liked it that from NXT days. I'm like, okay, Viking Raiders look nice. They were believable, War Raiders. They were believable. Now maybe they have to go on a heel turn.
I will talk about AEW All Out in a few minutes, and I'll let you know my view on CM Punk versus Miro and whether that will be a good match. I like the New Day representing. Let's see. Good evening, Mr. Chris Harris. This is Mr. Michael Riggs. I acknowledge you, and I saw your video from last Friday. Yes, you and a lot of people. Apparently, it was all over wrestling social media. I'll talk more about that a little bit later as well. If the league can bite off NWO, so can the New Day. Derek Mitchell, the one with the dark hair who was always on. Elvis, you need to acknowledge Chris. He is the best in the world and best host. Acknowledge Chris Harris. This is absolutely true. After the Viking Raiders took the L, out comes none other than Veer and Jinder Mahal. Veer and Jinder Mahal kind of thrown together as a tag team. Do you see this as a permanent thing? Is it because Shanky's not ready? What are your thoughts when it comes to Veer? And what are your thoughts when it comes to Jinder Mahal? Even though I know you're one of the only people that was a fan of his championship reign. I don't know what you were sniffing that year.
I'm not the only people. I bet you there's some people that comment right now. They don't want to admit that they're Jinder Mahal. They were a Jinder Mahal fan of the comments.
Nobody is a Jinder Mahal fan.
I'm pretty sure they were a Jinder Mahal fan.
Nobody was a Jinder Mahal fan. That was one of the worst title reigns I have ever seen in WWE.
I think that was a beautiful title run. That was a beautiful title. That was one of my favorite title runs. Jinder Mahal going over. He is going to go over again. Huh?
How?
The match that he put on, the Randy Orton, his top tier promos. I loved it. I love everything. I'm like, okay, Jinder. Okay. And part of me wanted to go to that Jinder Mahal celebration. He had that Maharaja Day celebration.
Can't even say it. You can't even say it.
Maharaja.
Say it 2 times fast.
Maharaja.
Maharaja. It sucks. Punk Darby was Brett 123 Kid. Yep, we saw the clip of him. I don't like him. Okay, after after Jinder Mahal and Veer lost, out comes none other than, I believe it was Mustafa. No, it was Mace and T-Bar. And another good match done by the New Day. Picked up another sneak attack victory. Speaking of sneak attacks, out comes Ali and Mansoor. Mansoor's getting a little too big for his britches. Got in the face of T-Bar and Mace, who's upset because they started beating up the New Day after. They get beat up themselves. And then what's his name? Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville had to come out and say, we're going to have this after to give them a little bit of time to rest up. Do you think the break was good for this tag team turmoil match, or do you think they should have kept on going?
No, it was kind of, it was good. I knew that New Day was going to win, so it was good.
Good. Puerto Rican Princess says, I don't like him. George Lewis says, Jinder Mahal is not tag team material, and I don't see him as a WWE champion. Maybe a mid-card title. Puerto Rican Princess 31682 says, ding dong, you wrong, the ultimate fan. Elvis Martinez says, why is Patrick's voice so low? Because I don't know what his setup is right now, but he's saying something. Mike Riggs says, I like the New Day red and black colors because it reminds me of the New World Order Wolfpack. And Elvis Martinez, honestly, dude, you need to acknowledge Mr. Chris Harris. George Lewis says, Lucha House Party came out before Mason T-Bar. Yes, they did. Thank you so much. That was actually a good match. Shout out to the New Day. We'll talk more about them in my top 5. Derek Mitchell says, the Viking Raiders is one move away from the Bushwhackers. The New Zealand Shepherders was a great hard-hitting team before entering WWE. The Viking Raiders is starting to trend that way. Can't say I disagree with you there. Next match we're going to talk about is the Contenders Match. Number 1 Contenders Match between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. These two always have good matches. These two hit very hard, very physical because they're really good friends. This match, even though I saw it quite a few times this year, still did not disappoint. Sheamus picking up the victory with a tongue of the tights. Were you happy with this match? Were you happy with the outcome? At the end, Drew McIntyre, a little bit of a sore loser. Possibly a whole turn coming. We don't know. It's a Catisse. There's not much he can do. But attack Sheamus, giving him the kick. I forgot the kick. It's not the bro kick. That's Sheamus. What's the kick?
Claymore kick?
Claymore kick. And storming off. Ultimate Fan, your thoughts when it comes to this one?
He needed to take the lose. I think he thought it's due for him for a heel turn. It looked like they slowly setting him up due for a heel turn. He lost to what's name last week. I was kind of I'm not a bit surprised. He lost to Damien Priest last
Correct. Week. He's the one that took the L in that triple threat match, but it could be because there's going to be Damien Priest and Sheamus at Extreme Rules, and it didn't make sense for Sheamus to take the L going into that pay-per-view. Could be. I'm just speculating.
I think it's going to be a triple threat match at Survivor.
At Survivor Series. We're going to skip it in November?
Maybe we could, I'm ready for. I'm all out. I'm ready for Survivor Series in November.
All out. I'm ready for Survivor Series.
I'm ready for Survivor Series in Brooklyn. You coming?
I will be there in Brooklyn for Survivor Series. That is accurate. Let me catch up with some of these comments right now. Let's see. Congrats to Cardi B for some reason. I know she gave birth. I don't see how that's doing her wrestling. Whatever. Damian Jones says, how come Lucha House Party didn't bring out their new AEW tag? That is racist. Don't talk to me, Damian. Mike Rick says, I have respect for the Queen Charlotte Flair because I acknowledge her as my queen because she's the queen on Monday Night Raw. George Lewis says, I don't see Sheamus win the United States Championship against Damian Priest. Neither do I, but it continues to feud. Elvis Martinez says something stupid. Puerto Rican Princess 31682 says, Pat, why you call yourself the ultimate fan? Answer that question for her.
Because I am. I've been watching it wrestling since I was super young.
Short, sweet, to the point. Jinder Mahal is one of the worst WWE champions ever. He ranks up there with Stan Stasiak's father as one of the worst champions ever. Look at the list of WWE champions, mostly in Hall of Fame. I think he disagrees with you, Pat.
It's okay. He's not a hater on the low.
That's what you got. That's your answer. He's another hater on the low.
Yo, y'all did some Judge Jinder Mahal. He was good. That's what I gotta say.
He really wasn't, right?
I think he really was. I wanted to be in that celebration. That match between him and Randy Orton, it was good. It was good.
No, it really wasn't. Jinder is whack. The Miz is better. Don't ever compare the Miz to Jinder Mahal. Miz is a once in a lifetime superstar.
Yeah,
Jinder
Miz
Mahal
Miz
is Jinder Mahal.
gold.
All right, let's take a look at let's see what we have next. Sheamus won. Boom, boom, boom. Big whatever. Sheamus McIntyre, great. Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley versus Natalya and Tamina. If they win, they get a tag team title match. I don't mind Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley together. It gives Nikki ASH something to do, and it makes Rhea stronger, actually, in my opinion, because she gets all the hot tags and she comes in and she just dominates, and that's a good role for her. She's already a popular wrestler, but she was missing a little something, and this is going to get her where she needs to be. The problem is, I think it's a little too much like Rated RK, bro. Your thoughts when it comes to these two?
I think you see that picture right there. Pull out that picture one more time. You see that picture right there? Rhea Ripley did not look too happy. I think Rhea Ripley, she's gonna turn on her. You're like, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough. So I want to see what this tag team match is gonna go. Now you can remove it. I want to see.
I don't think so, because it doesn't make Rhea any better by doing that. You understand what I'm saying?
They should go after the women's tag titles. I mean, for the tag titles.
I wouldn't be upset with them going after the women's tag titles. It's just that, I mean, and that's where they're going, obviously. But to say that Rhea's going to turn on Nikki ASH, I just don't see that happening right now.
Not now, but down the month. It's gonna be slowly built up. It's gonna be
down the month.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Down the month, a couple months later from now. Sometime in November, late November, early December,
No.
You don't see it happening.
The whole thing is to get Rhea Ripley over as a babyface even more. So I can't see that happening. What are your thoughts, and why do you think that's going to happen?
Eventually, like let's just say they have their strap. Let's just say they have the tag team title. They're going to drop it. Then the way how I see one of them going to go turn heel, one of them going to fed up. Maybe Nikki Ash may go heel, or I can see Rhea Ripley going heel, maybe in January.
Nikki ASH needs to go heel, in my opinion. Needs to go heel.
Not there, but then that superhero gimmick not work for her if she go heel.
Superhero gimmick is not working for her. That's my point. That's why she needs to go heel. It will give her a fresh thing, because the superhero gimmick is dead. It didn't work. It didn't work.
You gave me an idea. Let me cut you off. Right? Keep let her keep the superhero gimmick for a while, right? And then she could win it with Rhea Ripley the title, and then let's just say around January. I'm hype. I'm just planning ahead. I pre-planning ahead. Right? January, Nikki Ash turns into a villain. Like character heel villain, and then she attacks Rhea Ripley. I'd be lit.
Mr. Chris Harris, wild question. Right before Thanksgiving last year, I would like to say thank you for inviting me to be a part of the Unpopular Review team. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH as a tag team was working so far in the WWE universe is enjoying it. I'm not. Charmaine is whack. Jinder Mahal absolutely sucked as the WWE champion because he had to help win the WWE title from Randy Orton. Nobody's agreeing with you, Pat. Do you think that Alexa Bliss will become new Raw champion again? I will talk to you about that in a second. What person doesn't fit? Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena. That answer, Jinder Mahal. Tegan and Shotzi are number one contenders for now. George Lewis says both of them are former Raw Women's Champions and had them win the Women's Tag Team Championship. Could be interesting. Don't think so. Who is a UPR champion? We're tallying that up now. Molly Holly is better. The only superhero gimmick that worked was the Hurricane, Molly Holly, and Super Rose. I didn't agree with Super Rosie. Damian Jones says Ultimate Fan needs to hit the reset button. He's being JR tonight. Puerto Rican Princess 31682 says I want to see Rhea Ripley and Shayna. George Lewis says I can see Nikki turn on Rhea Ripley at some point as win.
Thank you, George.
Mr. Mike Riggs says Mr. Chris Harris, Mr. Jimmy Smith is doing an excellent job working on Monday Night Raw. I warmed up to him, but he still sounds like Byron Saxton at times to me. So it's hard for me to tell him. But at least now he sounds into it. He sounds excited. He sounds like he's learned some stuff. He's able to call some moves. So much respect to Mr. Jimmy Smith. Tag team. Jinder was good on the mic as a champ, but wasn't believable. He wasn't even that good on the mic, in my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a small commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about the next hour of Monday Night Raw. Stay with us. You are watching Unpopular Review.
DC, thanks for checking in as well, man. I wonder lately what's going on with Scorpio Sky in the middle of an awesome talent. He needs to be pushed. Absolutely. And he's one of the guys that was like, yo, when you coming over to AEW, when you're going to, turn the page and become an AEW guy. And it's like, it just took, and I ain't gonna lie, it took Punk for me. Like I was turning the page on it, but I'm a big guy. You know what I mean? And let me put that in perspective. Like, okay, here's your company, but your biggest star was who? Chris Jericho? I love Chris Jericho. Some would say he's on the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. Okay, I wouldn't put him there, but a lot of people have it. But I still put him on a very high pedestal. But he was your biggest star, right? So he can't be your biggest star. They needed other guys. Moxley gave him a slight push, but let's be real. Although as a hashtag Dean Ambrose guy, Dean Ambrose isn't quite pushing the needle. Also, Punk, Bryan, Bray, those guys push your needle, and those guys can help anybody else get over.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Raw edition of Unpopular Review. Executive Consultant here, also joined by the Ultimate Fan. Please make sure that you like, love, and share to all of your wrestling timelines and groups, and subscribe to us on YouTube at Unpopular Review, as well as our sister channel, UPRE. What you just watched was a clip from Around the Blocks with Mike Knox that's on this channel every single Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Very good information. We'll talk more about that later. But make sure if you're not done so already, hit that like button, hit that love button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. I read mostly all comments on air that is not named Elvis Martinez. Speaking of comments, let's get to some comments. Sean doesn't belong. See, this is why I don't read his comments. And Derek Mitchell says, EC, please let me know if you agree. You said this is a great time to be a wrestling fan. WWE hits on the worst set of commentaries. I disagree. I think the NXT commentary is decent at best. I think the Raw commentary is adequate, but I think the SmackDown commentary is phenomenal. George Lewis says, I can see Natalia and Tamina losing the Women's Tag Team Championship because they keep losing. Well, they're going to lose eventually, George. Come on, man. Ultimate Fan, go ahead.
I was about to say, yeah, I agree with you. George, wait, who did I agree with? George. I agree with what George said.
But I thought you were going to talk about the commentary.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, Pat McAfee is doing great on SmackDown. He's hyping up his crowd, the SmackDown crowd. I love Pat McAfee. He's legend on the commentary team.
I wouldn't call him a legend yet because he's new.
I'm calling him a legend.
You're making a lot of mistakes today, Pat. A lot of mistakes. Let's talk about the next thing. Like I said, this was not a real heavy backstage episode of Raw, which Raw and SmackDown, WWE in general, like having a lot of backstage segments. They didn't have that many. One of the backstage segments they had, but it was a real short one because it ended up in a ring. Immediately after was Moist TV with Johnny Drip and his guest, Karrion Kross. Johnny Drip was having a interview segment where he was trying to talk about Karrion Kross and what his intentions are. Karrion Kross just said, I want to hurt you, flat out. Led to a match after Johnny Morrison wanted to list his accolades and the people he's been in the ring with, but he did not do that well against Karrion Kross. The most offense he got was hitting with the drip stick. Ultimate Fan, was this a burial of John Drip?
I think so in a way. No, not really. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to derail him. He's trying to get back at the Miz. It's not going to derail his. Not really. No. Man, because Johnny Morrison, he dared to take. He dared for a comedic act. So that match was. I don't like that match, but at the same time, that match had to do what it had to do. And what is about to say? Can I talk about Cross's mask? I hate his mask. God, get rid of.
Go ahead, talk about his mask.
They should get rid of that mask. Throw
Why?
it away. It's not believable. He needs Scarlett by his corner.
The mask is not believable.
The mask did not fit.
The mask does not fit. Why? He's a gladiator. That's a gladiator's mask. The wrestling community in general for the last 2 weeks have been talking about this damn man's mask. And I don't understand why. Like, so many wrestlers have masks either coming down to the ring or in the ring. It's not that serious. It goes with his outfit.
I don't know. They should just kept his gear from NXT.
Maybe he wanted to change his gear.
Nah,
maybe. I'm not saying
that had something to do with creative writing from Raw. I doubt it. Because there was nothing wrong with Cross. All he did was Scarlett All he needed was Scarlett at Raw to come out for him. That was solidified. And
Ultimate Fan, it was the ultimate destruction of John Morrison.
maybe I gotta get used to it. I gotta get used to it.
Instead of crapping on it every week, possibly. Moist TV was pre-taped. What was your first clue? Puerto Rican Princess 31682 says, do you think that T-Mar and Mace will become Raw Tag Team Champions? I absolutely do. I think they're the ones that are going to dethrone RK Bro. I'm sorry?
Down the line, they will. I agree. Down the line.
They're the ones. They're being built up to do it. They've been taking L's, but they always look dominant in their matches, and they're always destroying people. And if you really want to think about heels after AJ and Omos, who's your next step? It's Mason T-Bar. Mm-hmm. George Samuel Lewis says, I mean, it fits with his gladiator gimmick. I guess it does. That's why I'm saying what's wrong with the mask. But people hate. Wrestling fans hate. That's what they do, right? Let's talk about it, Shane.
I'm pretty sure there's some stuff you hate in the wrestling, dude.
What?
I'm pretty sure there's something you hate in the wrestling.
Yeah, Nikki ASH's gimmick.
Okay, good.
I gave it a shot. I didn't like Adam Vick on commentary. I gave that a shot. I'm glad they got rid of that.
You got like, oh yeah, me too. Yeah. I could stand it. I'm trying. Maybe I gotta give the gladiator match another try. Maybe.
Puerto Rican Princess says she can't see you, Pat. Derek Mitchell says, let's say this, WWE and AEW have two different business models and fan bases. That's for sure. They both are in wrestling, but treat business differently, like comparing action heroes like Steven Seagal and Jason Statham. They both are action heroes, but performance are different, which is why it's a good time to be a wrestling fan because it gives you options. If you like Jason Statham, you can watch this. If you like Steven Seagal, you can watch this. Something for everybody. AEW, SmackDown Raw. I know they're both WWE, but let's be real. SmackDown Raw look like they're from two different shows sometimes. NXT. Pat is a huge NXT fan. I have no idea why. NXT is boring to me now. Impact Wrestling. MLW. Great time to be a wrestling fan. Is the fan base up there like it was in the 90s or the 80s or even the early 2000s? No, not necessarily. They're still bringing in money, but not like it was. Not the fan base. I agree with you there. However, it did not give you the options that you have now.
I just want to piggyback off of what you said.
Sure.
Also, people got to learn how to adapt. You know, with time changing. I know how wrestling was not the same. Wrestling, people going to say, "Oh, wrestling was not the same from the '90s." Wrestling, the attitude was better. Yeah, the attitude was better, but can we just appreciate wrestling and then focus on the now, focus on the present. There's always time for a change. People got to learn to adapt to changes. That's all my 2 cents for that.
Damn, Karen Cross, what the hell was Mason was wearing boot mail? I was trying not to pay attention. We're not even going to talk about that. Thank you very much. Charlotte Flair defends her Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax in a match that was set up last week because of all the talk it was. Let's just be real. But this match happened. A little bit of tension, of course, as it's been for like the last year between Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, which led to Nia Jax taking the loss in this match. Charlotte's still your Raw Women's Champion. Before we talk about what happened after, give me your thoughts when it comes to the breakup. Give me your thoughts when it comes to the overall match. Go ahead, Ultimate Fan.
Nia Jax should have won that championship. If it wasn't for Shayna Baszler, she had won. Nia Jax had that match in her hand.
What?
You heard what I said. I ain't gonna stutter. If it wasn't for Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax would have won. Shayna Baszler distracted her. Nia Jax had the match. She had the match. She's about to finish her off. She's about to finish Charlotte off from that turnbuckle.
Charlotte Flair is the queen of WWE, and you thinking that she should have lost to Nia Jax?
Yes, she lost to Nia Jax last week.
Are you nuts?
No.
Not for the Raw Women's Championship.
She can. Nia Jax is gonna be believable to the top heel. She's gonna be. Yes, Shayna Baszler.
For once, somebody agree with you.
Thank you, George.
Never thought it would happen, but somebody agreed with you.
Thank you, George. Thank you. I love Nia Jax. You see, Nia Jax is also my person, so I'll defend Nia Jax.
Karen Cross picked up that victory, but this is the clip I want to show you right here because I think this was part of the talk of the night, and I don't have it anymore. But after the match, Charlotte Flair was in the ring, and out comes Alexa Bliss, pretty much saying, "This is what I want." After Charlotte said, "What do you want?" Even though it's very obvious. The Raw Women's Championship is what she wants. This is the match we're going to get. Actually, I have to say, these are two of the most decorated women in WWE. Alexa Bliss, the most decorated woman outside of Asuka, not named Asuka. That's not a full horsewoman, if that makes sense. And these two have been on top of the respective brands, because they're not usually on the same brand, on the top of the respective brands for 4 years, better part of 5 years. If, to my knowledge, has only had one match. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this feud. I think this is very good. And I think Alexa Bliss is the one person that's not a full horsewoman. The one person that Charlotte can't hold down and screw over. Ultimate Fan, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's gonna do. Yeah, I agree with you on something. I agree. Alexa Bliss, she's. I'm not mind having her win. She's really good. Alexa Bliss, that's my girl. She's also my girl, and that's gonna be a good feud. She's gonna do some magic stuff with Lily. I like that gimmick. It took me a while for me to like the gimmick.
It'll take you a while to like carrying Cross's mask. Patrick, what are you smoking? Nia Jax being Charlotte Flair, you are out of your mind. I agree with you. But speaking of smoking, Elvis says here, Eva deserves a championship match because he's such a troll. Alexa Bliss has challenged Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship, and I can see Alexa Bliss playing mind games with her. Well, that's obvious. It already started, but she's not going to beat Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship.
If she
Don't
does,
think that.
I'm going to be. If she does, that's going to be impressive for her.
It'll be impressive, but she's not beating Charlotte Flair.
Lily will be happy.
Charlotte Flair is going to have the Raw Women's Championship for some months, quite some time. I don't see her losing it anytime soon.
If when you see her lose it, who do you think she should lose it to?
I want to talk about it after the draft. If they're having a draft, they haven't mentioned anything about it.
Sure.
But after the draft, then I'll let you know who I believe can defeat Charlotte Flair. But right now, nobody. Say what you want about Charlotte Flair. Multiple title reigns, as great as Britt Baker is in the AEW, which she is. Britt Baker is one person division with not many contenders. Charlotte is the number one contender in wrestling, competing against the best women in WWE. That's true. Say what you want about AEW. Oh my gosh, to talk all over social media today about AEW All Out and how WWE's in trouble, as if. But
when people say that, thank you.
They always get a high after a pay-per-view or after a debut or something like that. But if you look at the women's division in AEW, I think it's gotten better. Don't get me wrong. It used to be complete garbage, but it's gotten better. But it's still nowhere near the level of a Raw, NXT, or SmackDown roster. Britt Baker is the clear-cut star. Chris Statlander did show me something last night. I'm impressed with her. Jay Cargill is a star in the making. I'm impressed with her. Ruby Soho is going to help that division a great deal. But let's be real. Ruby Riott in WWE on Raw and SmackDown had one women's title match in the entire time she was there. Right? She was not a big-time star in WWE. But they treated her like a queen at AEW, and that's because she's an ex-WWE star that came over to WWE. I'm happy for her. I think Ruby Riott is a really good talent, but she wasn't a star in WWE. I'm sorry. Your thoughts?
What about this? I have
no idea.
Get off a topic. As you said earlier, you said that on Facebook you saw a lot of posting about how WWE is in trouble. I hear when people say that they're not in trouble. They're not. WWE not going nowhere. Yes, WWE needs to change. Yes, Raw, especially just Raw needs to change. Raw needs to change.
I'm not sure Raw needs to change. I just always will say, and it's not going to change what needs to change. The problem with Raw, the main problem with Raw, is the fact that it's 3 hours. It's too freaking long. It's too long. They have such great talent on Raw, but it just drags at times where I'm like, oh my gosh, it's another 2 hours. Oh my gosh, it's another hour. So anything that's even mediocre doesn't flow as well. When I was at Raw a couple weeks ago, I started getting tired during the third hour, which is funny because SummerSlam was 4 hours and I wasn't getting tired. But pay-per-views are different. I don't know why. Raw is not. Maybe it's because of the commercials. Then I go to SmackDown on Friday, which is well documented, and it flowed very, very well. It's like, damn, it's over already. It's a difference. I have not been to an AEW show. I'm looking forward to going to an AEW show. I never wanted to drive to Jacksonville for AEW. I did for SmackDown. I never wanted to drive for AEW for Jacksonville for AEW.
How long we got to drive for you? How long?
Jacksonville's 2 hours away from me.
Oh, okay, great. I'm gonna go to AEW on the 22nd.
I was going to go up there for AEW on 22nd, but it had, just like I was going up there for SmackDown, but change of plans happened and I couldn't go. But I am disappointed. But when AEW is going to start taping their Dark Elevation here, where they used to tape TNA, and apparently we're going to have a Saturday Dynamite here, and I probably will go to that. Because one thing I'll say about AEW, everybody, and I saw it in the comments on, when people were talking about me in the social media, but I'm a WWE mark, which is, true. I prefer WWE over AEW. That's not saying I don't like AEW. I give AEW a hard time because of the fans. The fans are the most annoying people I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, they have a good time at the event. And I can see that they have a good time at the event. And, to go off topic here, I'll piggyback off of that video that was posted to me on social media where, I'm going all crazy for Roman Reigns.
I like that video. I love that.
Supposedly angry, and I wasn't angry. You know me, Patrick. You know how I am and stuff like that. That was a gimmick.
That's part you are. That's part of who you
are.
Right.
That's my gimmick. But I saw all these people like, oh, calm down, blah, 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 blah. That's more WWE style. AEW, they go crazy, they have fun, and I appreciate that about the fans. Now, unfortunately, they're a little too passionate. They defend their crap, and sometimes they ignore stuff that they do that's stupid. But I really want to go there with that crowd base because it's different than the WWE SmackDown crowd base, or Raw crowd base, which could be fun because I actually did something similar when I was at SummerSlam. Now that I think about it, and I had everybody there happy. It was really, really good. I do that at every wrestling event. I do that at every party I go to when it comes to it. But this time, the funny thing I remember when I was getting recorded, I didn't know. I thought he was just recording just to record. I didn't know that it was actually, going to Sportskeeda or anything like that. But it was a good time, and I appreciated that time. And anytime you're on social media, everybody's going to start. I mean, not everybody. People will start hating on you no matter what you do. I could be feeding the poor, and people will hate on me. So it doesn't really matter. But there is a difference between the fan base of AEW and the difference between the fan base of WWE. And I prefer when I'm at an event, even though I haven't been, just like Daniel Bryan said it, he wanted to see how it is with the AEW fans. But he loved WWE. And I actually appreciated his promo because he didn't come there and just crapped on WWE like everybody else does that left WWE and went to AEW. That's how I feel. I prefer WWE. I love WWE, but I want to go to an AEW event to experience the AEW fan base, if that makes sense.
You summed that up for me pretty well. I love WWE. For example, like this morning, I'm going on topic here again. This morning, right? I was talking to my friend. I was in a Facebook group message. I was talking to my friend, be like, yo, I'm gonna pack up my bags and go to AEW. They was like, what? I'm like, no, I'm kidding. I'm a WWE.
I will be WWE for life, but I can appreciate AEW.
I appreciate AEW now. I've watched AEW for like the last 7 or 8 months. I ain't gonna hold you. I've been watching AEW. So because before I was watching NXT when NXT was on Wednesdays, but now I have time to watch AEW. I'm like, okay, this is some good shit.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
I love it. That's becoming
not perfect like the fans make it out to be at times, but it's not bad at all. With the exception with the draft, and I think the Bianca Belair could be the one to knock off Charlotte Flair. Just saying that is true. That's a possibility, even though I don't see Bianca Belair leaving SmackDown unless the Street Profits leave SmackDown. So if that happens, yeah, that could be one way to go.
Who they gonna get for in return for Bianca Belair? Because she's like,
I think Alexa Bliss is going to SmackDown. That's my good guess. Plus, Naomi's already on SmackDown, so that's something. And Sasha Banks, I'm not sure if Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch can both be super heels on SmackDown. I'm not sure how that could work. So one of them might go back face.
I'm going to get off topic here.
Shocker.
I'll save it for the end. I'll save that for the end. No.
With it, let's see. Ruby Soho getting an AEW Women's Championship match against Britt Baker. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll save that for later. Let's save that for later.
If Daphne was alive, do you think she could be Charlotte Flair or Becky? No, I don't. I don't even know why you asked that. People are excited about Ruby Riott coming into AEW. Just imagine Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley, or Rhea Ripley was in AEW. That will legitimize their women's division. And right now, the smart money is that Charlotte Flair is a good possibility if she's as dick whipped with Andrade as Adam Cole is with Britt Baker, right? That she'll go, but I think that will just be dumb. I miss you up. I like Wrestling World on the Street. Derek Mitchell says AEW fan base looks like a white male oriented crowd. Unfortunately, without getting too much into it, they are mostly a 18 to 49 Caucasian male crowd, and that's very obvious. You can see the difference, and maybe that's why they asked me to calm down, because I was actually next to a child. You know, there are a lot more children in the Raw and SmackDown than they are in the AEW. There are a lot more women in Raw and SmackDown than there are in AEW, even though I've seen some women in AEW, but not as many as Raw and SmackDown. So, I mean, Raw, like I said, WWE caters to a larger audience than AEW has. I've noticed that AEW lately, for the last couple weeks, been dropping all these F-bombs in their crap. That tells you the difference right there. WWE can't drop that many F-bombs. They try not to, but AEW just uses all willy-nilly. Daniel Bryan said F. First time, I didn't even know the man cursed like that. But whatever. AEW fan base, all right, said that. What's up, guys? What's up, Matt, Mad Dog, Kelly? Make sure to hit that like button if you have not done so already. Like, love, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to talk more about WWE Raw. Hey, we got off topic, right? We got off topic. But we're going to talk more about it. We're going to talk about the 24/7 championship. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I'm going to use the word motherfucker excessively during this segment. So motherfucking Paul White got Big Show'd. Big Show betrays freaking every fucking body. He turns, and the Gun Club hitting that big motherfucker with a chair was probably the most hilarious thing that I saw, besides a woman's umbrella fly out of her hand at the 2 train station here in New York. This was fucking hilarious, and obviously it was comeuppance for all of those fucking years that motherfucker Big Show would turn his back on people. John Cena, everybody, like the flips, the turns left and right. Like, he turned more times than a freaking car at a racetrack. So for me, this was ultimate extreme comeuppance. So AEW, thank you. Thank you so much from an intelligent wrestling fan.
And I'm out this motherfucker.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Unpopular Review Raw Edition. Executive Consultant here, Ultimate Fan there. Make sure you like, love, and share this to all of your wrestling timelines and groups. That was the AEW edition last Wednesday with myself, as well as Stefan Duyella. Ultimate Fan, what's going on?
I'm good.
All right, let's talk about the next match we're going to talk about. Is for the 24/7 championship. It was Akira Tozawa versus Reggie. Charmaine said it earlier, and I'll say it every single week until they do it. I want this championship gone. Reggie is. There's only been a couple of champions that you really remember. R-Truth, of course, is the most memorable 24/7 champion. They're liking Reggie now because he does all the flip and turns. The only other person that they really remember as 24/7 champion is this guy here who made his return to Monday Night Raw tonight, and that is Drake Maverick, getting off of NXT because he's pushing 40 and NXT wants a younger crowd. What do you think, Ultimate Fan?
I don't care, to be honest.
Be honest.
Break. I didn't care about that match, so I couldn't care about that match. I didn't like it. I had no thoughts on that one.
You didn't see it, did you?
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, that was very obvious. That was very obvious. We'll move on. Let's go back to the tag team turmoil. New Day start off with Muhammad, Mustafa Ali, and Mansoor. They picked up the victory. Out after that comes none other than AJ Styles and Omos. Another very good match. New Day are very good at gauntlet matches. I remember when they were feuding, when they were trying to get Kofi Kingston the championship, and there were like 3 SmackDowns in a row almost, where Kofi Kingston and New Day were in gauntlet matches, and they just do it so well. Mm-hmm. These people, being the New Day, do not get the credit they deserve for how good they are in the ring. There's a reason why people get tired of them. There's a reason why they've been together for as long as they have, and there's a reason why they're an 11-time tag team champions of the world, because they can go.
They could jump. They jump pretty well.
Last night at AEW All Out, there was a great tag team match between the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks. Young Bucks. Not a fan of the Young Bucks. Now, I knew this match was going to be very good because it's more, they're being the cage is more their style because they don't have to tag, right? And that's what I don't like about their tag team wrestling anyway, because neither one of the teams, even though I love the Lucha Bros, they're one of my favorite tag teams. Pentagon's one of my favorite wrestlers. But they don't like tagging in and out of the ring. They do these little fake-ass tags, and then they come in and they just do all these double team moves and stuff like that. You might as well not even have the tag, and that's why I appreciate this match more. You know, it's very set up. people like, oh, the Young Sucks are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And then some people might even throw in the Usos, stuff like that. You have to throw in the New Day. There was a there was a thing out there. We were supposed to do a special on the top 50 tag teams of all time or whatever.
I remember that.
And I think the New Day was
it
was like last month. The New Day was rated very high. It might have been number one. I don't remember. Somebody remembers. Hammermaker remembers. Put it in the comments. And I can't disagree with New Day being anybody's top three. The New Day are so underrated, and tonight just proves it. Great matches with everybody, including AJ Styles and Omos, until they finally took the loss. AJ and Omos going over the New Day, but shout out to the New Day's overall performance. Patrick, go ahead.
No, I'm upset about that match. I thought New Day was gonna win too. I really liked them, but I don't know why AJ and Omos had to win though. They didn't need to win. I'm so
Well,
mad.
they didn't win overall. Jackson Riker was not
Bobby
released.
Lashley and The Miz and
New Day defeated Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. The Young Sucks is the whack tag team. Young Sucks are better than the New Day. Wow, more trolling.
What?
He's
Stop
trolling.
that.
Ignore. Don't feed the trolls. So this was an interesting twist. I didn't see this one coming. AJ Styles and Omos versus Bobby Lashley and the limping MVP.
Yeah, that was rare to me. Because they both
two heels. Two
heels.
strong, strong heels.
That is so rare. You pointed out that fact. That is so
But
rare.
not only did they give you the match, they also gave you something I didn't think they were going to give you. Bobby Lashley and Omos in the ring at the same time. And the fans were going nuts, and the fans were behind Bobby Lashley. That was super impressive to me. And I thought they did this match very, very well with there being some turmoil outside the ring to try to make everybody still look strong. AJ Styles is about to beat Bobby Lashley, but Bobby ducks out the way, hits him with the spear 1, 2, 3. In the save face, they have Omos give him a double choke slam to still show that Omos is a vicious talent, but Bobby Lashley still looked like the freaking man in this match.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say enough about it. I thought it was done. All of it was done very well. Then you're hit by RKO. What more could you say? I'm excited about Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley at Extreme Rules. Ultimate Fan, what about you?
Me too. I'm excited. It's gonna be a new, fresher start. It's gonna be. I'm excited for that match.
People talk about WWE giving you the same matches over and over again.
It's new, fresher.
Randy Orton said it himself. We haven't wrestled in 10 or 15 years, and I don't even remember the wrestling. This is a fresh matchup. And this is one I'm really interested in seeing, and I think the feud is going to be great. I think the feud has already been good, and I'm glad they got rid of the Damian Priest Bobby Lashley feud, even though I think they're going to revisit it soon. But I'm glad they're putting that on hold to go this route because I think this is good for all competitors involved. I'm excited, and I thought this was a very good ending to a very good, yet still too long, Monday Night Raw. What's your thoughts?
It was good. Monday Night Raw was good. I give it a B. A solid B. With the exception that Naya Jackson not winning.
WWE is more rigged and has restrictions. It's like with the Twitch controversy. Adam Cole going to AEW is like WWE mother that says no Twitch, and the father is AEW allowing the kids to do whatever they want. Derek, I couldn't put it better myself because that's really what it is. Elvis Martinez says Chris remember it's all scripted and who will win. Vince made New Day the team they are today. Elvis Martinez, I don't know why I'm about to even talk to you because you're a troll. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said on this show, and you've been a part of watching this show for the better part of the 3 years we've been on. Yes, it's scripted, but if you think that the New Day just scripts everything they did or do and don't make a match better because it's them, you're dumber than your hat. Elvis, did you say the Young Bucks are better than New Day? You need to get some help. I thought that Big E would come out and cash in the Money Bank contract. Do you see Big E cashing on Lashley? Yes, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Expansions go, I do think WWE got it right with the Shield. Those guys are superstars now. Mox should be thankful to WWE for making a Backstreet Boy his words, not mine. I was having a conversation with my buddies yesterday. We're watching AEW All Out. All these influx of WWE wrestlers going to AEW. Do we see some AEW superstars going over WWE or returning to WWE? And I said, in my opinion, without a shadow of a doubt, John Moxley is going back to WWE when his contract expires next year. Do you see that, Ultimate Fan?
I don't see it. No, I have to disagree. To be honest, I'm going to disagree because he's right. He's more happy over there. I can see himself in his last run in his WWE. He wasn't happy. That match that they had him in that gas mask. I'm like, whoa, what is that? So I like the John Moxley that I'm seeing now. You know, like he got renew his contract with AEW. He got more freedom. And then this morning, my friend brought up a point this morning. Joshua, he said that he said that back in WCW, they allow all the wrestlers to have credit freedom. Then they shut this down. That's what my friend brought up a point of.
I see John Moxley going to WWE simply because of the fact that he's getting everything his those dream matches he won out now, but he's still kind of stuck in the mid card. I don't see him getting back to the main event picture anytime soon, if ever. So he's getting everything out that he wants to do. He should not wrestle that style much longer because he has a kid now. He has to think about Renee, and I think as long as Renee stays out of AEW and she has control, which she does, she's a woman, she's the wife, he will do what's best for business and best for himself and his family and go back to WWE. Not to mention the fact there's too much money in John Moxley, right? There's too much money in John Moxley, Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns, and then eventually the Shield reconciling. That's why I think he's the one to go. Your thoughts?
I still don't see how. Well, you brought up a good point tonight that he's gonna be a family man. You know, with his kid, he gonna reconsider about his doing how he does his moves. He gonna reconsider. Yeah, you brought up a good point, but I still see him staying in AEW. So he may stay at the mid card title like what the TNT title. I said he may just stay at the mid card title. He may just stay at the mid card.
If he does that, then once again, like I said, he might as well come back to WWE. There's too much money in a Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. Too much money. You disagree? You disagree?
You still brought up a good point. You brought up a good point, but
I usually
let's
do.
see what happens. Let's see what happens. So I had to think about it. That's why. I be thinking about stuff. I'm over processing stuff.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us
Monday
here.
Night Raw. That is it for Monday Night Raw.
That is it for the Monday Night Raw. That is it for the Monday Night Raw portion. But as always,
if you like this video, please share it to all your friends. Share it to other wrestling group. Give this video a like, a heart. Share it. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube and Twitch.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our last commercial break. When we come back, I have a couple words that I want to say about a few things that happened. I also am going to do, along with the Ultimate Fan here, who forgets the rules of Monday Night Raw, we're going to talk a little bit about
Top 5?
Top 5, yes. Our top 5. So
That's
stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Unpopular. I did skip the Dewdrop interview. Oh, let me read this thing right here. Top 5 is coming up in a second. Are we going to see Adam Cole on up, down, down? I'm not sure about that. I can't answer that question, George. Why was Vince not at Raw? Is he okay? He's probably taking a break. I haven't heard anything different. Wrestling has a long history of great tag teams going back 50 plus years. The New Day is one of the best tag teams in modern era, but not the greatest ever, and that's fine. One of the greatest ever, even over the 50 years. John Moxley going back to WWE. I wonder if he will have another run at championship. Wait, you see the Shield reunite? I never would have thought that. Too much money in it to be a fool. Rest in peace. God, Lee, everybody's rest in peace with you. This is depressing. I agree with EC. It's too much money not to bring back John Moxley. Most people have left WWE and returned at some point. I think Punk might be an exception. Correct. Don't see Punk coming back. I don't see Jericho coming back as a full star. I do see him come back as a Hall of Fame inductee, if that makes sense. And I skipped Dewdrop interview on purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Stay with us on Popular Review.
I love Bianca. It's so hard to find, like, especially these days, you know, fans are so, like, pro heels. When you find a baby face who can just keep people, you know? How long has it been? And they're still cheering her. I can't remember the last time it's lasted this long.
No, because, like, wrestling fans are fickle. I know that for a fact because I know I could be that myself. You know, what happened at SummerSlam, I don't fault anybody, the people involved. I fault that, you know, they thought that this was going to really be like, you know, the people in creative thinking this was going to be something good. And maybe the idea was to do what I'm doing right now. I'm talking about.
I think the main thing was them wanting to get across that Becky was a heel. And I think when you look at it, Bianca is so loved. That was like the perfect way to really.
Mhm.
I mean, she is getting booed. I think that was the point, was to really piss people off. I was obviously pissed.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Unpopular Review. Now, I want to play something that I was tagged in a little bit earlier, and just get a little bit of your thoughts with that. Here we go.
You want to fight for your belt? Yes! I'd like to win your belt. Let's fight for the championship.
You know, in the slums of professional wrestling, aka New York City, everybody is striving to be the best. Everybody is striving to be number one. Everybody wants to be that dude or that dudette. But unfortunately, in this game, there's contenders and there's pretenders. Now, I've always considered myself a contender because I damn sure am not a pretender. I love being entertained by wrestling fans, man. I love seeing the passion that some of the wrestling fans carry. I love it. But, you know, when I'm doing my thing, when I'm making deposits in the bank of Butte, and I go on my Facebook and I see that I got tagged in some video of some dude trying to cut a promo, trying to be me, that kind of upsets me a bit. No, more like gets me perturbed. You see, brother, I know you think you can cut a promo. I know you think people should acknowledge the tribal chief, but that's where you're wrong. You see, bro, there's only one king of these streets, and that's me, A-Track Brown. And I can't be beaten. I can't be beat in these mean streets. So when I see an amateur like yourself pretending to be me, I get perturbed. Brother Chris, I've seen you at hangouts. I've seen you. We never really crossed paths, never really shook hands, never really introduced ourselves. So I guess one can say this is that moment. I'm A-Track Brown, and I can't be beating these mean streets, and I'm your worst nightmare. Now, I don't know your travel plans. I don't know your life like that, but all I know is this. You think you can cut a promo? You think you can be me? In fact, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? You're not better than me, bro. You know, the fact that you even had other people trying to acknowledge someone else shows that you ain't better than me. Here's the challenge, man. It's the promo battle. You think you got the skills? You think you got the charisma? You think you got the gift of gab? And step up to the plate, bro. Challenge. The gauntlet has been thrown down. You can either accept the challenge or you can walk away like a bitch. Me and you, bro. King versus king, brother versus brother, Nubian versus Nubian, God versus God. All you have to do is accept. But if you do accept, then all I have to say is welcome to the Terror Dome.
All right, so what you just saw was 5 minutes of putting you to sleep over some guy. I don't even know who you are, bro. Not at all. I don't know why you even are watching the shit. I don't know why you're even saying something to me. You can't just come out and then automatically think you can face the king. Go on there and find some homeless dude off the street and cut a promo on him. And if he wakes up from you talking, then maybe you can face me in a promo battle, okay? Maybe. Right? But until then, don't challenge somebody that's above your level because you must be smoking more crack than that chair you were sitting on. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Let's go into our top 5. Stay with us.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Can't believe that. I mean, I was on Twitter and Instagram and everything for like, what, a day? And people already trying to get clout off me. Like, what is that? Does anybody understand that? I don't understand that. Do you understand that, Pat?
I don't understand that either.
Yeah, I thought, I'm glad to see you're still awake. I thought you were falling asleep too.
No. Can I be the referee? When is this going to happen?
I'm not accepting his challenge. I have nothing to prove to him. At all.
Okay, great.
At all. So, yeah.
He may search you up on Facebook.
I was tagged in that so many times. He knows how to find me. He doesn't know what my travel plans are. He's seen me. I don't know who this guy is. I don't. It's whatever. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about our top 5, and I'll go first while Patrick thinks about his top 5 for professional wrestling. I always start with a runner-up. This might surprise people, ironically, that this guy is my runner-up, but it was such a great week of professional wrestling. I had no choice but to put him as my runner-up. And yes, that's only because we have to acknowledge him. He is your tribal chief. He defeated Finn Balor this past Friday. None other than Roman Reigns is my runner-up. Hey, a successful title the victory over Finn Balor, and he's only a runner-up. Who could possibly beat him? This might be controversial, but my number 5 pick is your other world champion, believe it or not, and that is none other than Bobby Lashley, who once again looked dominant out there. Oh my gosh, that's your number 5 pick, Chris. Who's your number 4? Number 4, once again from tonight, is the New Day as a collective unit. I think they did a fantastic job tonight, and they need to be acknowledged, and they need to be respected for everything they did. Number 3 pick, this is where the controversy begins. I'm going to go with Chris Jericho. A good story was told. A good victory was had over MJF at AEW All Out. So I got to give him that respect and give him my number 3. My number 2, we talked about it earlier, this tag team, one of my favorite tag teams out there, and that is the Lucha Bros, who shocked the world and shocked me by winning the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Didn't agree with the victory, but I love the fact that he did win in a very, very good match. Who could be my number 1? Should you really guess? Not a huge fan of this guy, but I got to give respect where it deserves. That is the AEW World Champion, Kenny Omega, after having a very successful title defense against Christian, who outworked Christian this last night. And then, of course, had the big angle with Adam Cole, Bebe, and Bryan Danielson. That is my top 5, ladies and gentlemen. That's my top 5. Patch is about to tell his top 5. And put your top 5 down there in the comments, and we're going to read them right here on air and talk about it before we wrap up and talk a little bit about AEW All Out. Yes, I did. Pat, your top 5.
I would have said this even though that I got acknowledged for some time. My top started from number 5. It was going to be Charlotte. I'm going to go with Charlotte. I gotta give her credit where she due. Her promo good. She been killing it on the week. I gotta give Charlotte credit where she due. She been working like a workaholic. That's her like. She been working. Even though that Naya is eventually gonna win one day.
You say even though what?
Even though Naya eventually she's gonna win. She's gonna.
Yeah, you were crapping on Charlotte earlier, right? You were crapping on your Raw Women's Champion.
When she least unexpected, but Charlotte, she deserves to be.
All right.
Number 4. For number 4, it will be none other than Bobby Lashley. He's been dominant. He's killing it. He's killing it in the ring. As you always say, he's great. Ain't nobody can stop him now. Number 3. Ooh, this I had trouble with. Number 3, I'm gonna give it to I like what he did last week, so I kind of liked that match between what's his name, Brian Cage, and I'm gonna give it to Powerhouse Hobb. I liked that match last week, so I'm gonna give it to Powerhouse Hobb. That's number 3. I liked it. I liked this match. I liked that match. I'm like, okay, yeah, Powerhouse Hobb. Okay, great. I liked him. That's one of my guys. Powerhouse Hobb.
I've never heard that before.
What?
Anybody's top 5. I've never heard him. Somebody put him in their top 5. But it's your top 5. You do what you want. I'm just surprised to hear him. Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay.
He's gonna be a future. He's gonna be a future. Watch out for him. Number 2 is gonna be Roman Reigns, the big dog, guys. Always, yes.
Tribal Chief.
And number 1 is gonna be Britt Baker. I put Britt Baker up there. Her matches from from Sunday, I was in awe. I'm like, yo, this shit is phenomenal. And her promo work is good.
I'm really upset because that's a very good pick, and I forgot about Britt Baker. And how can you forget about the AEW Women's Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD?
Don't cut me off. Anyway, you don't see how she used that curve stop twice? I was in shock. I'm like, yo, this chick could go. Well, she's always believable, but yeah.
Shout out to Chris Statlander too, because I thought she did a great job in that match.
She did. She held a match.
I see her having a future in WWE.
I see her wrestle before. I see her wrestle in person because she wrestled in the independent scene. I saw her wrestle with her for BCW. BCW. That was in 2019. I think I saw her in 2019.
Okay. All right, that's your top 5. Let me read some of these comments for their top 5. See, my top 5 from George Hammond Lewis is number 1, Roman Reigns. Number 2, Becky Lynch. Number 3, RK Bro. Number 4, the return of Brock Lesnar. Number 5, The New Day. And my runner-up is Adam Cole debut on AEW. And my honorable mention is Ruby Soho debut on AEW. Puerto Rican Princess says. Number 5, Kenny Kingston. Number 4, Britt Baker. Number 3, New Day. Number 2, Chris Jericho. Number 1, Kenny Omega. Elvis Martinez says. Runner-up, Cesaro. Number 5, Happy Corbin. Number 4, Sami Zayn. Number 3, Darby Allin. Number 2, Gun Club. Number 1, Lucha Bros and Young Bucks. That was match of the year of all wrestling promotions. I said on Saturday review show that the tag team match is going to be the match of the night. Mad Dog Kelly says Chris Harris DC Charlotte versus Becky Lynch at Survivor Series. As of now, absolutely. Derek Mitchell says number 5, Kenny Omega. Number 4, Roman Reigns. Number 3, CM Punk. Number 2, Adam Cole. Number 1, Daniel Bryan Danielson. George Lewis says, I've become a huge fan of Britt Baker, and I hope she stays champion at AEW for a while. Mad Dog Kelly says, number 5, Charlotte Flair. Number 4, Becky Lynch. Number 3, Britt Baker, DMD. Number 2, Chris Jericho. Number 1, Roman Reigns, the head of the table. Honorable mention, Paul Heyman with the Brock Lesnar ringtone. Ladies and gentlemen, my final thoughts when it comes to Monday Night Raw is a pretty good show, pretty solid show. Once again, a bit too long, but they can't help that, so very good for them. And my thoughts on AEW All Out, since I keep getting messaged about it, was a very good pay-per-view, the best pay-per-view I've ever seen AEW produce. Listen to what I'm saying. The best pay-per-view I've ever seen AEW produce. I thought it was a very solid show from beginning to end. I thought there was really no bad match. Were there better matches than some? Yes. But there was no bad match. I really did enjoy Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. I enjoyed the main event. I enjoyed the steel cage match. I enjoyed Miro versus
Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston, CM Punk versus Darby. It was a very solid pay-per-view.
It was good.
What I do not like, and I want everybody to listen to me, if I have any clout, if I have any pull in the wrestling community, we all like wrestling. We are all here because we are fans of wrestling. It is fine to joke around. It is fine to be in character. It is fine if you like AEW better than WWE and WWE better than AEW. But the amount of bashing that I'm seeing people do to other people because they voiced their opinion, in my opinion, needs to stop. Nobody's an idiot just because they like Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Nobody's an idiot just because they like the numbers that Rampage are putting up, or they like NXT, or they like GCW. Respect their opinion. You can explain why you think they're wrong, respectfully. But there's no need for name calling, no need for downing a person.
Yeah, that's what
that is where we all mess up.
That's all that high school stuff. Yeah, that's all that childish shit. Oh, calling people names out on Facebook. Oh, you don't know what you're saying. I'm like, it's just wrestling. Damn, chill, relax.
Exactly. I hope we can move off MJF and Chris Jericho for a while. I think we are about to begin that. Good night, hugs and kisses. Question: Do you see Demon Finn Balor come back to challenge Roman Reigns? That's definitely what's happening.
Yeah,
okay.
I thought, to be honest, George, leave that up there. I really thought that from my end of the TV, I thought that was like a glitch. I thought the light was messed up. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I will say this: that night they end up playing Roman Reigns' old Shield music toward the end when everybody left, like real quick. And they did that before on a SmackDown when he was coming out, and they accidentally played a snippet of it. So that happened again this past Friday. But yeah, it's definitely Finn Balor. Some people are still hoping that was going to be the Fiend. It's not. Let's just be real. I think it will be a bigger impact if it was the Fiend because everybody thought he was gone, but it's not. It's the Demon. But he'll lose too. He'll bow down to the Tribal Chief. I have to give Raw a solid B. DC Ray versus Dom soon. I've been saying WWE should have that match. If Dom wins, Ray shall unmask. Yes, that's definitely the direction they're going with that storyline. Is Ray versus Dominic Mysterio. I see on social media it's getting ridiculous. Omega and the Young Bucks are indie darlings, but CM Punk and Bryan Danielson have been more mainstream exposure, and that is 100% true. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know, I like this SmackDown. Wait, I'm going on topic again.
Probably.
It's about SmackDown. You see how Naomi? There's a part of me thinking that Naomi she may join the Bloodline. I'm having serious thoughts that she may join the Bloodline. The reason why I said it because the last week when she was on SmackDown, right? She went to Sonya Deville and said, "Hey, do you have a match for me? I'm ready to compete." And then if Sonya Deville keep putting it off on hold, she may become more irate, and then that just me telling my future booking. She may become more irate, and then she not be like, I'm not gonna wait anymore. And then the Uso may be like, yo, what's going on? How about you come join the Bloodline? I'll be all hyped for that.
I've been hearing rumors of that. I don't think that's happening, but never say never. That could possibly be possible, and we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, SmackDown. I believe this SmackDown. We'll talk about it. Let's do some plugs since we transitioning out.
Catch me on SmackDown Live, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single Monday night at 6:00 p.m. join Mike Knox for the most intelligent wrestling fan around the blocks with Mike Knox every single Monday night at 6 o'clock. Immediately after Monday Night Raw, join myself and the Ultimate Fan Patrick here each and every single Monday as we talk to you about Monday Night Raw. Tomorrow night, our team at UPRE, our sister channel on YouTube, will be reviewing Disney's Mulan. That should be a good one. Can't wait for that one. And immediately after NXT, join Captain Shakespeare and Bad Guy Jack as they review NXT. Counting down to when the new revamp comes, which is next week. Trying to decide whether or not I'm going to be there for that one. Also, on Wednesday, UPRE will review the What If series from the Marvel Studios on Disney+. That's very interesting. Bad Guy Jack and Mark Victor Rodriguez are in that one. Immediately after MTV's The Challenge, join Captain Shakespeare and Mike Knox as they review that episode of The Challenge, Spies, Lies, and Allies review. Immediately after AEW, join Big Daddy Cool, and joining him every Wednesday now will be the technician, David Sanderson, as they review AEW Dynamite every single Wednesday immediately after AEW. On Thursday, we're going to have UPRE review The Motorcycle Diaries. Looking forward to that with a returning James this week. I don't have a graphic, but UPR NFL football is going to be Wednesday, every Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. So stay tuned for that on your unpopular review channels. Can't wait for that one. On Friday, we have SmackDown review show, which is starring Stefan and guest hosts each and every single week. But this Friday, we're actually going to move it to Saturday. We're not going to be able to have it on Friday because mostly the entire crew will be in New York City except for me, I'll be in DC, and unfortunately, technician David Sanderson will be in Dominican Republic. So we don't have anybody to review it. So we'll do it on Saturday. Also on Saturday, we'll be reviewing Invincible from Amazon Prime. Join C the Superior Mark, Victor Rodriguez, as well as Bad Guy Jack as they review that show. Whatever you have, just like I said, it's a good time to be a wrestling fan because we have so much content in wrestling. We have so much content here. So whatever your heart desires, we have it for you so you can watch. Will SmackDown pay tribute to the 9/11 victims on Friday? I'm pretty sure they are. Thank God. Thanks, guys. Good show. I just wish more people was exposed to wrestling than less than 5 million viewers. I agree. But there's a lot more stuff on television now than it was back when they had 5 million viewers each and every single week. What happened to That's So Caden? That's So Caden is no longer a part of Unpopular Review. I wanted people who actually knew what they were talking about. No, seriously, he's a good guy, but he parted ways with Unpopular Review. He parted ways with Unpopular Review, and so did Jeff. What's his name? Evil Dose. That's what his name is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for The Ultimate Fan, I'm the Exec Consultant. We enjoyed you very much, and we're happy that you joined us. Please join us tomorrow for NXT. In the meantime, like, love, share. Like, love, share, subscribe, and have a good evening. Night, everybody.
Peace.